UFC Fight Night, Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman. I'm just going to go through my quick picks for the card and then give you a look at what bet I'm looking to put on. Not done one of these videos in a couple of weeks. The cards haven't been great, and even the last one on the weekend, good card, but the odds weren't really that enticing, so I didn't bother doing a video for it. Anyway, to the first fight, we got Vanessa Demopoulos versus Jamie Lynn Orff. Women's fight, hard to tell, isn't it? Unpredictable. I think we had Vanessa Demopoulos to win the last fight like most people, and she let us down on that one. I mean, I would say Jamie Lynn Orff should win, but we're not looking to bet on that. It's just too unpredictable. Next fight, you've got Phil Rowe versus Angelusa. More interesting fight. Angelusa, he's a bit of a lame player, isn't he? He's not very active. He'll get you down, keep you down. Phil Rowe, he's got power on the feet. He's a bit of a grappler himself. He's had quite a lot of grappling matches, hasn't he, Phil Rowe? So he might be too willing to engage on the ground. I can see him getting taken down by Angelusa and then looking to play off his back rather than looking to get up to his feet. So I think that could be an advantage for Angelusa scraping a decision here. It just depends whether he can be active enough on top. You never know. Phil Rowe could have more moments on the feet and steal the round. So a bit of a tricky one to predict that. I would side with Angelusa. I see Tapology saying Lusa as well, and I would kind of agree with that, but it's still a tricky fight to predict, so I'm not sure if we'll put that on our bet, but we'd say Angelusa. Next fight, Ricky Simon versus Cameron Smotherman. Simon was supposed to fight Charles Jourdain, which arguably would have been a tougher fight than Cameron Smotherman. Looking good, Ricky Simon, in his last fight. He finished Javid Bashrat, didn't he? KO'd him quick in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just check that. Or was it the second round? Oh yeah, it was the first round, and he looked good in that. I think Javid Bashrat was a bit worried about the takedowns, and Ricky Simon just fainted and then come over the top and caught him. It was a really good knockout. Javid Bashrat was out bad. One of the most scary ones in a while, actually. Smotherman, he's had some good wins, Smotherman. Jake Hadley was his last win, and that is a good win. Jake Hadley's doing alright in the PFL. Won his first fight, didn't he, against some good Russian guy. Lost his last fight by decision. I think he's pretty good, Smotherman. And it's just whether Simone can recapture his old form, isn't it? Before his last fight, he was on a 3-fight skid against good guys, though. You see what Song Yudong's capable of and what Mario Batista just did to Patchy Mix on the weekend. And Vinicius Oliveira's alright as well, isn't he? So, and before that, he's had some really good wins. He beat Jack Shaw, subbed him. Jack Shaw's really good. I would side with Ricky Simone in this fight, but it's tricky, isn't it? Because Smotherman is good, and was it kind of a one-off Ricky Simone's last fight? Did he just catch Javi Bashrat? But yeah, I'm going to side with Ricky Simone in that one. Next fight, you've got Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. Cody Durden has beat some good guys and he's lost to some good guys. Jose Ochoa lost his debut to Lonnie Kavanagh, so it's hard to tell where he's at really, because Kavanagh's really good, isn't he? You've seen him in his last couple of fights now, so it's hard to tell where he's gonna be. Cody Durden, he's beat some good guys. Match now was his last win, and he beat Jake Hadley as well before that, and he's lost to some good guys as well, like Tagir Ulanbekov, Bruno Silva's not great, and Joshua Van, he lost to, looked really good against Silva. So it's hard to predict this one. I think Cody Durden could have the skills to neutralise Ochoa, but it's just hard to tell how good he's going to be. Topology is saying Durden, so take that for what you will. Hard to pick on that. I probably would side with Durden. He's got the experience advantage in the UFC, but it's just hard to tell, isn't it? Next fight, one I'm looking forward to, probably one of the ones I'm most looking forward to on the card. It's Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Martinho. Now, not so much looking forward to it for Chris Martinho. I think Wellmaker's going to smoke him. I like Wellmaker, what I've seen of him. It was hard to tell where he was going to be coming off the Contender Series against Bramwell, who he starched, but after his last fight against Cameron Simon, what a finish that was. I think he's going to go far, Wellmaker. I think he's going to be one of the best in the division if he carries on going and showing what he's been showing. And Chris Martino is tough, but he's there to be hit. And I think Wellmaker's going to put him away in this fight pretty comfortably. Topology is saying Wellmaker as well. Why wouldn't you? I imagine the odds are massively in his favour. So yeah, swiftly moving. But I'm looking forward to that fight. Moving on to the next fight though, we've got Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. On paper, you think Michael Chiesa should win this straight away. Court McGee is 40 years old now. Chiesa's 37. He's looking old as well. Court McGee won his last fight against Tim Means, another guy who's been around for forever. Lost to Morono before that, Matt Brown before that, and Jeremiah Wells. You would think Chiesa should get this done pretty handily. Won his last fight against Max Griffin and then Tony Ferguson before that. You never know in these kind of fights, but I think Chiesa should get it done. Tapology's going with Chiesa as well on that one. I don't think there's any reason to go against that. Next fight, Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. A fight what was supposed to happen the other week, wasn't it? Bit of a strange one. I don't know how it come about, but Bellato ended up not getting cleared to fight because of herpes or something. I don't know if he notified the commission or they're seeing it. Coming off a 3-fight skid is Paul Craig against tough competition though. Really good competition. Some of the best in the division. Won before that against Andre Muniz and then lost to Johnny Walker as well. Rodolfo Bellato got a draw in his last fight against Jimmy Crute and won against Pretoria before that. He got dropped in that fight as well against Pretoria, but Pretoria can crack, and he come back and managed to get the win. You're going to side with Rodolfo Bellato in this fight. There's always that chance that Paul Craig can get a crazy submission though, so he's a massive favourite. Bellato probably won't put him on just because Craig has always got that ace up his sleeve, and it's a step up in competition for Bellato. Well, Jimmy Crute was a good fighter as well, and he got the draw there, but he's only had one fight at that level, really. Whereas Paul Craig's been fighting some of the best in the division, so you got to give him that. Tapology going with Bellato, and you would probably say he gets it done. Next fight, you got Menifield versus Umar Sy. Menifield, he's had a bit of a mixed record in the UFC, but he's got that power, and that's going to be with him in any fight. He's coming up against Umar Sy here, and he's had a couple of fights in the UFC. One against Tukos, and Darwin Young. You'd say he's got the high ceiling. The Menifield should get the win here, but Menifield's always got that power, hasn't he? Tapology going with Sy as well. No reason not to go with him, I don't think, but there's always that chance Menifield gets the will. So depending on Menifield gets the KO, so depending on the odds, it might not be worth putting on. Next fight, you got Cody Brundage versus Mansour Abdul Malik. A lot of hype behind Malik in his last fight, and he come through with a win, but he was in trouble in that first round against Nick Klein, who could have potentially got the finish. Yeah, he's a big favourite again here against Cody Brundage. And I think if he gets through the first round, he definitely wins this fight. But Brundage, he is dangerous in the first round. But yeah, I think Mansour should get the win here in this fight, to be honest. Probably not worth putting him on at minus 420 just because Brundage does have finishing ability in the first round. But can't see it happening. Next fight, you've got Cody Garbrandt versus Hany Barcelos. I don't think Cody Garbrandt's got it anymore. Like, you watched a few build-ups for his last few fights, and yeah, I don't think he's got it anymore. And Hany Barcelos, even though he's old as well, he's 38, a lot older than Cody Garbrandt, but I think he's got more hunger. He showed that in his last fight when he got over Peyton Talbot, and I think Peyton Talbot's probably a better fighter than Cody Garbrandt at this time. Not going off, don't get me wrong, Cody Garbrandt's had a decorated career, and a former champion, beat some good guys, but I just don't think he's got it anymore. Is there a chance he gets the win here? Yeah, he could catch Barcelos because he has got power, but I think Barcelos gets the win. Topology going Garbrandt, so that's the first one where I'm going against Topology. But yeah, I think Andy Barcelos has just got the more hunger than Cody Garbrandt. You don't know where Cody Garbrandt's head's at. Next fight, Edmund Shabazian versus Andrei Petroski. Now, Petroski impressed me in his last fight. That was against Adolfo Vieira, wasn't it? Yeah, and he did well. I had Adolfo Vieira to win that fight, and it did end up being kind of close, didn't it? Because it wasn't all one-sided. But he did impress me in that last fight. He's been finished a few times on the feet though, Petroski, and Shabazian's definitely got the capabilities to finish it on the feet. Looked good in his last fight against Budka, but Budka's not really a high-level guy, is he? And he struggles when he gets taken into deep water. Edmund Shabazian in the past, anyway, especially against like decent grapplers like Joe Meisha and Anthony Hernandez, who I think is going to be the future champion in the division. But then he can find those finishes early, so it's going to be interesting in this one because I think Edmund Shabazian could get the finish early, but if he doesn't, can Petrushki drag him into them deep waters and make it a grind and get a late finish against Edmund Shabazian? So yeah, it's tricky to say. I would say Shabazian should get the win. I think he can find the finish against Petroski, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets dragged deep and then Petroski can make it dirty and manage to get the win. Topology is kind of 50-50 as well, almost. They're probably seeing the same things what I'm seeing, but they're siding with Shabazian, and I'd probably say he gets it done as well. Next fight, Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Hard one to predict because you don't know which Rose Namajunas is going to show up. And Miranda Maverick, she's been decent, hasn't she? She's coming off 4 wins. Her last loss, not a great loss against Jasmine Judavicius. I don't really know much about Judavicius. Rose Namajunas coming off a loss against Erin Blanchfield, who's at the top of the division. So not a terrible loss. And that Jasmine Judavicius has been doing alright recently, so tough one to predict this. I'm definitely going to leave it off my bet. What are the odds saying on it? So Miranda Maverick's an underdog, and you could put that on at a 2-1. I think it's a pretty 50-50 fight. I don't think Rose Namajunas is a clear favourite here, so I'd probably just go Maverick just for the value, and Topology is going Namajunas on it though. You never know who you're gonna get though with Namajunas. Like, do you get the Namajunas who showed up against Carla Esparza? Because that was a terrible fight, wasn't it? It's hard to predict. But if I had to pick, I'm just gonna side with Miranda Maverick. Next fight, main event: Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Kamaru Usman, he's been through the wars on it. He hadn't fought in 2 years, and that was a majority decision loss to Hamzat Chimaev, so definitely not a terrible loss. Definitely not. But I think this is a tough fight to come back to after 2 years off. And he's been doing a lot of other things now, Kamaru Usman. Has he still got it? Has he still got the hunger? Because I would say Joaquin Buckley is definitely more hungry than Kamaru Usman. He's on a tour at the minute, and Joaquin Buckley beat Morono, Vincente Luque, then Nursultan Riziboev, Stephen Thompson, and Colby Covington. What you can say about those last 5 wins, though, is none of them are on the same level as Kamaru Usman. Like, it's a big step up in competition, isn't it? Because Colby Covington, he's shite nowadays, isn't he? And Usman's last 3 losses, Leon Edwards, he was winning that fight before he got knocked out, so that was close, and then majority decision, and then lost to Chimaev. So I was thinking Joaquin Buckley leading into this, but I've kind of talked myself around a bit and think, well, yeah, them 3 losses, ain't they against elite level. And Joaquin Buckley, it's a step up in competition from here, isn't it? But I just think he's he's a lot young. He's like 8 years younger, isn't he? He's explosive. I think 5 rounds as Kamaru Usman got it. He's a big favourite though, Joaquin Buckley as well. Wouldn't surprise me if Kamaru Usman can get him down and can control him. But I've got a feeling Buckley's going to win. It's a tough one on paper though. It's tougher than I thought it was going to be. I literally thought I was coming into this saying Joaquin Buckley's going to smoke him, but for some reason I've had a change of heart though. Buckley, massive favourite on Topology. I will side with Buckley because that was my initial thought, but I would not be surprised if Kamaru Usman just turns him away at this challenge. But decent enough card, isn't it? Let's have a look at the odds, see what the odds are saying now. And these ain't in order, and that pisses me off how these ain't in order. Cody Durden versus Ochoa. We'll leave that off for now. Malcolm Wellmaker, which we can't even put it on because it's 1-14. But I would like to put that on. We can't put it on at that odds. Michael Chiesa, massive favourite as well. This is why I've not really been betting as much these past few. The odds are just we're not getting any decent odds on who we think's going to win at the minute. Adolfo Bellato, not worth it at 1-3. This is a good fight to bet on, but it's a 50-50 fight, isn't it? Does Angelusa keep him down and land enough damage? Because I think the judges are going to be on that after the Finney fight now, because it could go like that. It's a hard one, not putting that women's fight on. Masai, massive favourite. Look, how can we even bet these odds 2-15? Rose Namajunas is a massive favourite. Like, we might have to just take some risks on this card and go Miranda Maverick to get any decent return. Mansour Abdul Malik 1-8. Hany Barcelos is only 1-2. We're gonna have to put that on. Edmund Shabazian versus Petrosky. We'll go Shabazian. I wouldn't be surprised if Petrosky starts grinding him out, but I think Shabazian definitely gets the first round. Well, I can't say definitely, but I think Shabazian gets the first round. Can he get another round and then survive the third round if he starts gassing? And then the main event, Joaquin Buckley. And a tenner on that gets you 100 quid, so we're at 9-1 for that. That's 4 fights, but it's risky fights, isn't it? There's none of them I'm super confident in, but we have to kind of like... We have to take some risks if we want any decent return. So yeah, we'll stick with that anyway. That's my bet. I'm going to put that on. 10 quid gets us 100 quid back. Hopefully we start getting some better odds. I can't wait till Cage Warriors is back on in Manchester and that. I was going to do the video for the Rome one, but I don't know many of them Italian fighters. I'm looking forward to it being back in Manchester and London, and I can get a grip on some of the matchups there. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, UFC's just been a bit dead lately, hasn't it? That's why I've not done as many videos. But hopefully it starts picking up again, and we start getting some good matchups. It just feels like it's a bit flat at the minute, UFC, and then the cards we are getting where the fights are alright, the odds are just terrible. Yeah, but that's my bet anyway, and I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe if you're still here as well. Doesn't cost you anything, helps me grow the channel, and I'll see you next time. Nice one.